Things that I disagree with Lazare Lenain's The Science of the Kabbalah. Hello everyone, this is Taliesin McKnight. Thank you for joining me today. This is a video for Patreon only. And then if you're watching this after a year, I'll make these public. They'll probably have less views because it's just for Patreon until I publish them a year later. But today, I wanted to talk about this book right here, The Science of the Kabbalah by Lazare Lenain. And I'm going to talk about some of my personal things that I don't personally resonate, that I don't like about it. Although I want to be very careful in throwing that out there, because relationship with the divine and with spiritual beings and forces is a very personal thing. And if something works well for somebody, then there it is. That's all that you need. So, it all goes back to one man's meat is another's poison. So, just because I may not particularly like something doesn't mean that it's not effective for someone else. So I just want to begin with that. So this book right here, The Science of the Kabbalah, is very useful for the offices of the spirits. It is the go-to text for looking at what the spirits are about. Because, and this book was published in 1823, and we live in this time of the great convergence of all this Shem angel knowledge, because this book only existed in French for a long period. Well, yeah, it existed in French. A lot of these works, was just with French Martinists and things like that. But what we have today is a gathering up of all these traditions. Pierce Vaughan did a great job on this. Pierce Vaughan made an English translation of this, so now we all have access. It's great for the offices. Some things that I personally disagree with. His Kabbalistic tables are completely his invention. He even says so on page 40. At the very bottom of the top paragraph of the last sentence of the top paragraph of page 40, it says, "The three tables which follow are of my own invention." So, the second Kabbalistic table is roughly the one that we use. It kind of sort of goes along with the quinaries of the zodiac. But there's 5 missing days. Why? Because he's not following the quinaries of the zodiac. So according all the way back to Agrippa says that the 72 angels of the Shem HaMephoresh, that they govern the quinaries every 5 degrees of the zodiac. So he's basically just assigning them to every 5 days. And that is not what Agrippa did. I prefer to follow the quinaries every 5 degrees of the zodiac. And there's a missing 5 days, okay? Because that's only 360 days. It's not 365. So the 5 extra days, I don't know what he does in leap years. Or I don't know if that would affect it, but it says here that so he only includes the timing of the Shem angels all the way up, the last one up to March 14th. And the last 5 days, he assigns to the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water, and to God. But this is something like the Shem angels already have their tradition. Like, you don't need to just make stuff up. But, so if you look at table, the second Kabbalistic table, the 72nd genius rules from March 10th to March 14th. So March 15th through 20th gets no angel because it's not following the quinaries of the zodiac like it had. And it just assigns them to the four elements and to God: earth, air, fire, and water. How? I don't know. Is, which day is earth? And it's just plus these every 5 days are said to just govern the physical constitution of man. So somehow the birth angel just governs your physical body. The third Kabbalistic table, he does every 72 days you get back to the angel. So Vehuya governs March 20th, 72 days later, May 31st, 72 days later, August the 11th, 72 days later, October the 22nd, 72 days later, January the 2nd. So every 72 days. Again, and he says that this angel rules over man's morals. And again, that's missing 5 days. And then the fourth Kabbalistic table is the 20-minute cycle. Now, many people find this useful. It's fine. I've experimented with it. It's okay, But this one governs over man's mind and soul. So like Vehuya governs from midnight to 20 minutes after midnight. And that one would govern, So if you were born, basically if you were born at 2 a.m., you would have the seventh Shem angel. So, is it wrong? I can't say that it's wrong per se, but it is his invention. And I find it just more useful to just follow the quinaries of the zodiac. And so it's just a personal, I'm not going to say anybody's right or wrong here, but it's missing 5 days. And I had a lady that she said that she didn't really resonate, with Vehuya. She was born on March 19th or... Anyways, what would her birth angel be? March 19th, one of the elements? Something doesn't add up here. But instead of Vehuya, I looked at her birth chart. It was actually Mumia, which seemed to resonate a lot more with her than Vehuya. It was Mumia in her birth chart. Because if you look at, I recommend just looking at your birth chart, looking at the degree of the sun. There's your birth angel. It would make more sense if you're going to have three geniuses or angels. In my opinion, it'd make more sense to go with the degree of your sun sign, the degree of your ascendant, and the degree of your moon sign. And I've spoken with people that have worked with Shem angels in this way, and they get a lot of use out of it. Me personally, I just work with Mitzrael, my birth angel, the degree of the sun at my birth. But some people work with the degree of their sun sign, then their ascendant, and then their moon sign. They have three angels that correspond to those three different parts of their birth chart. So just personal preference here. But he admits that he makes these up. At the bottom of at the last sentence of the top paragraph on page 40, these three tables which follow are of my invention. So again, he just does every 5 days, and this actually came up in a Shem angel group. Somebody mentioned it, and then so March 15th through 20th gets no Shem angel according to him. They're just the four elements and then God. Third Kabbalistic table is just every 5 days, again, missing 5 days. And then that one, because it's not by days, it's by quinaries. So the idea that the sun at the following the 5-day cycle is that Shem angel governs your physical body. And then the one that governs, it switches every 72 days. It returns. That one governs your morals. And the fourth Kabbalistic table, that's his 20-minute cycle that he invents, somehow governs your soul. So the idea that this birth angel just governs my physical body. Another thing that I disagree with this text, it's just not again, personal preference. I'm not saying anyone is wrong, but when he talks about each genius, he then talks about a bad genius, like a demon that corresponds. Now, Dr. Rudd, in his innovative system, he is innovating. He works with the 72 Shem angels as like a buffer and as a way to kind of direct the 72 demons of the Arskuisha. That's fine, but that's an innovation. But nowhere before Dr. Rudd do we see any reference to the Shem angels corresponding to bad geniuses. And then the last thing that I wanted to say that I disagreed with, if you go to page 171, Eliphas Levi's seals of the 72 geniuses, these are just random pentacles from the Tol's Grecos Key of Solomon. These are pentacles from the Tol's Grecos Key of Solomon. I see no correlation between these pentacles or talismans, these pentacles from the Tol's Grecos Key of Solomon and Shem angels. And, my teacher that I've had for years with grimoires and stuff, and his opinion isn't very good, and it's just extra. Like, it's just kind of making stuff up at this point, These are pentacles, or these are pentacles taken from the Tol's Grecos Key of Solomon, and assigning them to the 72 Shem angels. So, all in all, I think it's a great book for like the office and stuff like that. But this is by no means like a Shem angel Bible of infallible whatever. Now, having said that, if you work with the Shem angel quote-unquote talismans randomly taken from the Tol's Grecos Key of Solomon and it works for you, then great. If you want to follow his 3 birth angels that govern the body, the morals, and then the soul, then more power to you. If you want to cut out 5 days in the year because it doesn't correspond to the quinaries, like Agrippa said, and just give them to the 4 elements and to God, then that's fine. And if you want to equate them with 72 bad geniuses, then that's fine too. But we don't see it in Reuchlin. We don't see it in Agrippa. We don't see it in Athanasius Kircher. We have Dr. Rudd that did some innovative things. And then Lazare Lenain comes up. My personal opinion, I just prefer the classical way, and it's what I talk about in my videos. My personal opinion is that a lot of Lodge magic, a lot of the Martinist and Golden Dawn type stuff, it's not my bag, But having said that, this is an invaluable book. It's very useful. Whether you agree or disagree, it's a very important text. It's only $10 on Amazon. It's very useful. It's used pretty much universally for the offices of the angels, and I've always found the offices to be good. So I think it's a very good text to have, published in 1823, very influential work. So I think it's a great book. It's $10 on Amazon. Pierce Vaughn did a good job. Ultimately, just personal preference. I don't agree with his 3 tables that he just kind of makes up. And I prefer to go with the quinaries of the zodiac. And his bad geniuses, I don't know where he's getting that from. And his Shem angel talismans of Levi is taken from the Tol's Grecos Key of Solomon. I just don't see the use there. I'd rather make a Shem Angel pentacle like Dr. Rudd does, with the psalm verse and the name in Hebrew, or maybe the sigil. If you want to make a talisman of a Shem Angel, you can go to Agrippa. My way would be to get the stone that corresponds to the zodiac sign. If you want more than one birth angel, me personally, I'd look at the sun, moon, ascendant. It's just my way. And once again, I am in no way saying that my way is correct and anyone else's way is wrong. By no means. If it works for you, it works. Spirituality is at a certain level up to individual interpretation. It's your own path with the divine and with the spirits. So nothing that I say should impinge on anyone else. In fact, I haven't made this video for a long time. I thought about making this video, but I've never made this video for a long time because I don't want to impinge my view on anyone else. However, I figured it'd be a good video. I might as well get this video out of the way. What are some personal disagreements that I have with this book? I'm sure if I really dove in, I could find a lot more. But like I said, ultimately it's a good text to have. It goes into the offices. It's very useful. Me personally, the tables and the talismans and all that stuff, to me it's just worthless material. It's just not something that I'd rather have a direct communication with the angel, and then the angel will give instructions on how to do workings and stuff. I don't want to filter it through a 19th century lodge magic type of lens. But that's just me. We all have our own approach. But, I've wanted to make this video for a while. I've thought about it. I haven't done it because I don't want to impinge on anyone else. But, I figured I'd go ahead and get this video out of the way. And, yep, so that is it. And there's a lot more on the way. So what do you think? What's your personal opinion? I invite everyone to give their own views and viewpoints. Like I said, my way is not the correct way. It's just a perspective. My honest, just laying it out, giving my honest opinion. So, anyways, so that's it for now, and I'll see y'all in the next video. See y'all in the morning with the next video, y'all. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I'll see y'all in the next video.